لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Mahmoud Amir, and inshallah, I will be the Brothers lead organizer at camp this year. Um, this is, I believe, my second or third time organizing camp. In the past, I did it with Osama Oda, and the former youth director, Sister Aisha, was also on our team. And this is my first year as lead. Um, so, yeah, inshallah, we'll go ahead and get started. Aisha, if you'd like to. Yeah. So, like I
Oh, go.
said, yeah, go ahead, Aisha. You can
Um,
introduce yourself.
part of, a big part of us doing this is because we wanted everyone to feel comfortable and be able to have their questions answered. So all of you that submit questions, thank you for doing so. This presentation is kind of designed to answer the questions that were submit, and then we're going to have time at the end to ask more questions if necessary. But I think a lot of what's in here will be able to answer those questions for you. First thing I wanted to do, just to make you guys more comfortable, to kind of get to know who's going to be at camp. Mahmoud and I are going to be there. And there's also going to be all of these other people that you see on the screen there. Chances are, if you're in the Canton community, you know a bunch of these people. We have Neda Abu Salah that's coming, as well as Abdullah, who are both registered nurses. We have Sheikh Handala, we have Nadine Sabri, we have Malak Abu Zama. Sister Samrina is coming as a parent chaperone. We have Hassan Suleiman, Dana Suleiman, Hala Amr that are going to serve as security. And we have a few other people as well. So those are all the people that are going to be there. These are kind of the organizers that are going to be there. This does not include counselors. We're going to have a lot more people than this to make sure that everything at camp goes smoothly and everyone has a good time.
So, inshallah, we're going to try our best to follow the schedule. The outline, we already went over the organizers and who will be coming. So, you have an idea about that. And the same exact list was sent in the welcome letter in case you guys want to review it at a later time. At 8:20, we'll try and talk about the Camp Wilson itself and its background, some general safety and health. Then we'll move on to the frequently asked questions that many of you submitted over the Google form. Then we'll move on to talking about the current to-do list, what we need to finish and accomplish before camp, inshallah, specifically before August 4th. And then we'll finish up with concluding remarks. And at the end, inshallah, you can send in your additional questions, and Sister Aisha will be able to answer them at around 8:45. So, some general background about Camp Wilson. General safety and health. Camp Wilson is an experienced YMCA camp. It comes from a Christian background, so they have ethics and values, some ethics and values similar to us, alhamdulillah. And fortunately enough, they have accommodated Muslims in the past. For example, a group from Dearborn, from the ICD, they went in this month in July of 2023. So they are experienced with hosting Muslim campers, alhamdulillah. And something important about the campsite is that they are accredited by the American Camp Association, which requires meeting 300 plus standards of health, safety, and program excellence requirements. Camp Wilson, as far as its distance from Canton, from MCWS, it's about a 2.5 hour drive. Inshallah, transportation will be provided from MCWS and back round trip. At this time we expect to depart around 9 or 9:30 in the morning from Canton, and then we hope to return around Asr time on Sunday, inshallah, around 6:30, inshallah. That's the plan. However, we'll send out a full detailed schedule with the program guide as we approach camp. So some other important general safety and health requirements. The YMCA staff that they hire, they go through extensive background checks before they hire. So alhamdulillah, we know that in that regard, it's going to be safe. They're going to have a nurse, their own nurse, on campus, on the campgrounds 24/7 to provide any care in case, God forbid, any situation comes up where the nurse needs to be contacted. Something that's important as well, all YMCA staff are trained in emergency procedures, basic first aid, and CPR. And alhamdulillah, there is a very close hospital nearby in case, God forbid, an emergency situation comes up. We have a hospital nearby that's open 24/7. We listed the address and the phone number there in case the contact information is needed, inshallah.
Something else I want to add about the actual camp itself is that the organizer group, we went out to visit them and kind of see the grounds to make sure that it was what we needed. It was really important that we found a campsite that was going to suit our needs as Muslims. That included having like halal compliant meals. That included having cabins that were on, different, not just next to each other, but different areas of the camp as well for brothers and sisters. Making sure that there was going to be appropriate staff, making sure that, all of this stuff went well. And alhamdulillah, it was such a great camp. It was exactly what we needed. It checked all our boxes. And then something else that we really appreciated about them was the person that was giving us the tour kept making sure, is there anything else that we can do to make you guys more comfortable? And they were very invested in making sure that as Muslims, we were accommodated in the ways that we were asking. And so they were very willing to work with us on any and every issue that we could possibly think of. So that was really nice to have. Alhamdulillah, we're going to go over the expectations of campers and attendees right now. This is pretty standard, but we're still going to go over it. The general rules and standards: campers and staff must respect themselves. And by staff, I mean the staff of the camp follow these as well. However, by staff in here, I mean organizers and counselors. So our MCWS people that are coming and making sure that that our youth have a good camp. So campers and staff must respect themselves and other people's bodies and other people's belongings. Campers and staff must follow all rules and guidelines in every area of camp. Campers and staff must not intrude on others' enjoyment of camp. Campers and staff must maintain their personal hygiene, and campers and staff must represent themselves and MCWS in a positive manner. In terms of some unacceptable behaviors, being rude or disrespectful to staff, that includes MCWS volunteers and staff, as well as the camp staff and or other campers, including the use of offensive language or gestures. Bullying, refusing to follow basic safety rules, stealing from other campers, staff, or camp property, defacing or intentionally breaking camp property, physically harming or threatening to harm another camper or staff member, and possession of forbidden items, these things that will not be tolerated. As far as disciplinary actions go, in the event a child is having trouble following the rules of camp, one of the organizers will work with the counselor to make every reasonable effort to modify the inappropriate behavior. It's really important that we provide tarbiyah to these kids, that we make sure that, we're working with them to kind of teach them right from wrong. However, you'll see that it says when campers repeatedly misbehave, ignore camp rules and policies, a parent or guardian will be called to discuss how to best resolve the situation. It is very possible that if a camper is being repeatedly disruptive, repeatedly using inappropriate behavior, and we've, done a reasonable amount of effort to work with them, we may have to call a parent to have them come pick up their child. It's very important to us that, one camper doesn't kind of ruin the experience for everyone else. Next, we have the cell phone policy. We already got a few questions on this, so I'm going to go over it real quick. Cell phones are expected to be away at all times. Campers are expected to fully engage in activities as well as in the social settings. I think we all know that sometimes youth, they get too attached to their cell phones, and this is a time for them to kind of, enjoy their surroundings, enjoy each other's company, enjoy camp. So cell phones are expected to be away at all times. If staff are constantly needing to remind a camper of this policy, we're going to be asking to hold their phones during the activities so they can fully engage. That's going to be a case-by-case situation. If you're a parent that's concerned about your child's phone usage during the weekend, I encourage you guys to collect their phones prior to them leaving for camp. If they don't have their phones, they can't necessarily be on them. And you will be able to contact them through the parent liaison in case of emergency. So if you did want to collect their phones, but you were just a little bit worried about being able to contact them, the organizer phone numbers are available to you, and we also have the parent liaison, so you're able to check in on them when necessary.
So water safety at camp is high priority for us as an organizing team. The activities that are offered at camp will be swimming, kayaking, and canoeing, inshallah. And there's going to be a lifeguard on duty at all times during swimming, kayaking, and canoeing. For males, there will be male lifeguards. For females, there will be female lifeguards. And we've asked them to ensure that they dress modestly, inshallah, and gave them a set of requirements. As far as swimming, it'll be in a restricted area, kind of like a pool. The deep end is when we went and checked it out, it was maybe about a little over 5 feet, so it's nothing too deep, inshallah. And everyone will be wearing life jackets. Camp and the very nice thing about Camp Wilson, they have very detailed water safety procedures and policies that we will send out the details in the program guide, inshallah. Um, Something that we wanted to note here was the water buddy system that they have. Basically, two swimmers will be buddies with one another in the water, and they will be checking up on each other every 10 minutes just to make sure that everyone is staying safe, inshallah. Something that's also very important is that the YMCA staff are all trained in emergency procedures, basic first aid, and CPR. And as I already mentioned, a full list of water policy procedures will be sent in the program guide, inshallah. Some additional safety measures that we are enforcing on behalf of MCWS is that everyone will be wearing a water vest while in the water at all times, inshallah. There, in addition to the lifeguards that are going to be watching the campers, counselors, organizers, and chaperones will also be supervising the water activities as well. And some will even be in the water with the campers at the same time. And in addition to that, just to add some extra precaution, we as an organizing board team, some of us will be getting CPR certified. Me, myself, inshallah, I will be certified as well before camp. So some additional measures that we are making. Actually, I want to move on to the next one. So another frequently asked question was about camper group selection and the process of camper group selection and lodging, inshallah. So our intention is to hand select the groups, and that'll be done by the lead organizers, the head counselors, and some advice will be taken from the counselors. Alhamdulillah, all the counselors are young adults known in the MCWS community who are active members, and the intention is to pair campers with people that we think they will get along well with, inshallah, and build strong ties of brotherhood and sisterhood, and create a good environment at camp, inshallah. Some additional information is that the groups will be roughly 1 to 5 counselor to camper ratio, with some groups being 2 to 5 because we will have some additional junior counselors. Junior counselors are a little bit younger than the counselors. Counselors are 21 and up. However, junior counselors will be in that 19 to 20 age range. Some details about the lodging. They will be in cabins. There will be bunk beds. There will be mattresses provided. There will be electricity, ceiling fan, air conditioning, and bathrooms in the sisters' cabins. And the brothers' cabins are basically the same. However, without a bathroom inside, there will be a bathhouse close by that they can use for the bathroom and also for showers, inshallah. And something nice about camp, it's set up in a way where there will be sufficient privacy between the two genders. So that will be a good addition, inshallah.
I know that there were a few questions previously about students or about campers being with their friends. We want to be very particular. We are very particular with how we're going to group the groups together. If your child is not grouped with their friend, they will be grouped with people that they can build positive relationships with. And they will be able, we all have buddy groups as well. So there's, the group of either 1 to 5 or 2 to 5, but then they also have a buddy group. And then we're also going around to the activities together. So your child will be able to spend a lot of time with their friends, but sometimes it's good to put them in a group that they can kind of flourish on their own. So I wanted to share that point. And on to Salah.
So as far as Salah, we got some questions about that at camp. Inshallah, yes, we do intend to perform Salah in congregation altogether for all 5 prayers, inshallah. Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha will be shortened to 2 rak'ahs. However, we will not be combining any salahs. The intention of that is to be in accordance to all 4 of the madahib, primarily accommodating to our Hanafi majority community. And also, this was the this was the advice given by Sheikh Ali in regards to salah. So it will be in congregation all 3 days that we will be at camp, inshallah.
For the food at camp, there's going to be 8 full meals. That includes a light breakfast that we're going to give to everyone at departure time. And there's going to be several snack sessions throughout camp. And then we also have some bonfire food as well. So there's going to be no shortage of food, alhamdulillah. We know that people come together around meal times, and we wanted to really be able to facilitate that for the youth. Camp Wilson is providing halal certified meals, and there will be a variety of selection, inshallah. We took a look at the menu. We also are double checking to make sure anywhere, sometimes we know that as Muslims, we know where the little things might be hiding. So they sent us a full menu, and we're able to kind of, check and double check. And, I was really happy with how they were how the camp was communicating with us about making sure that everything is halal certified, which again is something that they've done before. Food allergies have been taken into consideration. So if your child has a food allergy, that it was on their registration, it is going to be communicated with the camp, but it's important to be hyper vigilant about it. Please, if your child has a food allergy, have them consistently remind counselors, organizers, and camp staff, just because we want to make sure that everything is solid and everything is taken care of. We don't want to leave anything to chance. Water will be available for campers to drink at all times, and we want to make sure that everyone packs their refillable water bottle.
So, current to-do list for parents and for campers. The biggest thing would be to make sure we are finishing our waiver forms and submitting them by Friday, August 4th at 11:59 p.m. inshallah. If you open up the Google form link that you can find in the WhatsApp groups and also in the welcome letter, the first option would be to print out the forms, fill them out, inshallah, sign them by hand, and then drop them off at the MCWS library Dropbox. That's located right next to the men's musalla door. So that would be the first option. And then the second option, if you're not able to submit them in person, would be to fill them out electronically. Make sure you print it and sign it with wet ink, scan it as a PDF, and then upload both waiver forms to the Google form. There's one option for the MCWS waiver upload, and then, I'm sorry, there's one prompt for the MCWS waiver upload, and then there's a second prompt for the YMCA camp waiver upload. So inshallah, let's remember to please upload to the correct location. If you guys need any help with that, feel free to reach out to me directly or contact the youth camp email, and we will help with that, inshallah. The next to-do item for parents and for campers is to make sure we are preparing and packing for camp. We sent the camp packing guide found in and you can find it in the welcome letter. If you guys have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out as well. And then last but not least, let's remember to regularly check the WhatsApp chat for updates. That's going to be the main form of communication between the organizers and the parents and the campers, inshallah, prior to camp. And for the parents during camp, inshallah, as well, that's where we will be sending announcements. And one very important piece of information, we'll be sending the program guide, which will detail out the camp weekend sometime before camp starts, inshallah, within the last week. So that is the current to-do list. And if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out, inshallah. So with that, as far as the questions that were submitted, we can conclude, inshallah, and then we will move on to question and answer. I can stay on until 8:45, and then I have a hard stop to sign off, inshallah.
So if anyone has a question, you can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I can allow you to unmute. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to ask any questions that might come to your heads. But if you don't have any questions, then go ahead and put in the chat something that you're excited for your child to experience at camp. I see that someone is asking if you have access to the PowerPoint, we can send it out. Or we'll post it in the in the WhatsApp groups. Mahmoud, is the camping list sent to campers, or is the packing list sent to campers or parents?
The packing list is sent to both campers and parents. It's in the welcome letter that we had sent out in the WhatsApp chat. If you weren't able to see the welcome letter just yet, we will resend it tonight, inshallah.
I see there's a question about the activities that are planned. We have archery, we have zip lining, we have the water activities, we have there's like a soccer field and stuff. I see that you're concerned about the water activities and the zip line concerns. As we said before, the YMCA staff is very trained to do these things at every camp, every YMCA camp that we've been to in the past, which we've been doing camp for a long time. There has been a zip line, and alhamdulillah, there hasn't been concerns in the past, but you know, it's always been a good time. And water safety, we went over it in this slide, but again, if you have any further questions, you can ask about that. But these are the precautions being taken for water activities.
And something I will add, Aisha. YMCA camp has very rigorous water safety policies and procedures. That will be included in the program guide, inshallah. It's actually about a few pages long. You guys will be able to read the details of all water safety, even according to the activity and what the YMCA camp does in certain situations. So, alhamdulillah, we took extreme precaution here because as an organizing team, we are very we take high importance for this for water activities, and the safety is the most important thing. So inshallah, you will be able to read the water policies in detail. Yes, there is immediate access. There is immediate access to medical help in case of emergencies. All YMCA staff are certified in basic first aid and CPR. And then there will be a lifeguard on duty at all times during water activities. YMCA camp has their own nurse that is available 24/7. There is a hospital 10 minutes away in case of la samahallah, any emergencies. And we are bringing two of our own nurses in case we need medical help there as well. One male nurse, Abdullah Abu Salah, and one female nurse, his sister, Nada Abu Salah.
And there is a life jacket for every single participant. They are not allowed in the water without a life jacket.
Yes, correct.
What kind of bullying will not be tolerated? There will be absolutely no bullying tolerated. Helps us have conversations with our kids of the expectations. So anything that makes another camper feel negative about themselves, anything that is used, any phrasing or actions that are used to exclude someone is considered bullying. It has to be an inclusive environment. You know, kids make jokes to each other. They roughhouse, they mess around, but anything used to exclude rather include will not be tolerated. And anyone or anything done to make someone feel negatively about themselves will not be tolerated as well. How many parent volunteers will remain on site? So we have Sister Samrina, who will be there the entire time. Sister Iman, I think, will be there either a portion of the time, I believe. And we have two of the speakers that will be there for either a portion of the time or the entire time. That includes Osama O'Day and Khuramwani, who are going to be there as well. If I answered any of your questions insufficiently, please rephrase so I can answer properly. What are some other questions you have? If you do not have a question, then go ahead and put in the chat something you're excited for your child to experience at camp. Okay, well, I'm happy to see that. Alhamdulillah, thank you as well. Thank you. I'm happy to see that we answered all the questions sufficiently. If there are any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We want to make sure that you feel, can you as parents visit the camp, not during the actual weekend, because that will be a whole other thing that we need to coordinate, and the organizers are going to be very busy. We have a very packed schedule for the kids, and we want to make sure that everyone is properly accommodated. I mean, thank you so much, Sister Amina. So if there are no other questions, we will post the presentation to the WhatsApp groups. Anything else you need, please reach out. It's very important to us that you feel comfortable with your children coming to camp. And I hope that, you know, any of you that were thinking of registering your kids feel comfortable to do so.
So with that, inshallah, Jazakallah khairan everyone for joining. Feel free to reach out to me or Sister Aisha directly, or email us at mcwsyouthcamp@gmail.com for any questions. And like Sister Aisha said, we will make sure to send out this PowerPoint to the WhatsApp groups, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this camp safe, fun, and successful. With that, inshallah, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Salam, everyone.